Today on RMU Live, President Donald Trump proposes more transgender bathroom usage rules. And Siblings Weekend has finally hit RMU. We'll bring you a preview of what the next 3 days are going to look like here on campus. And finally, NASA has made a huge discovery that has the entire space travel program shook. All on this week's edition of RMU Live. Welcome to RMU Live. Today is Friday, February 24th, 2017. My name is Rashad Christian. And I'm Cassidy Walters. Here's what's happening now. We're going to take a look outside at today's weather with weather forecaster Eddie Sheehy. Here's what's happening now. We're going to take a look outside.
Yeah, thanks, Cassidy. I decided to get out of the studio today. Too nice of a day to stay inside, so I came out here. Some people are hanging out on the Nicholson lawn, sitting on blankets, enjoying this nice weather. Right now, the temperature, it's sitting at about 73 degrees, but as you'll see later in my full forecast, I'm expecting the temperature could go as high as 78 today. Now, that temperature of 78 is going to be key today because that would be record-setting. And I'm not talking about record-setting on this date, record-setting for the month of February. The last time it was this hot in February, you have to go all the way back more than a century to the year 1900. Now, you'll see in my full 5-day forecast coming up that this weather's not going to be around forever. We have a chance for some snow. You're going to want to know when that might hit. Rashad, back to you.
This past Wednesday, President Donald Trump rescinded protections for transgender students that allowed them to use bathrooms that corresponded with their gender identity. The question of how to handle the bathroom debate will now be left to the states, as each state can now control who can use which bathrooms. Pittsburgh singer Jackie Evancho requested to meet with President Trump following his announcement of letting states decide bathroom usage. In a tweet, Evancho stated that she was disappointed in the president for sending the decision to the states and that it would be an honor if her and her sister could meet with him.
The last group of people protesting at the Standing Rock Indian Reservation in North Dakota were arrested on Thursday after an evacuation deadline was issued by Governor Doug Burgum. Around 200 police officers took place in the operation. 46 people were arrested, and authorities began using heavy equipment to tear down the remaining structures and debris. The Justice Department made a decision to use private prisons to house federal inmates, reversing the Obama-era directive to stop using the facilities, which officials had deemed to be less safe and less effective than those run by the government.
An unnamed juvenile has been taken into custody after a series of bomb threats were targeted towards West Allegheny schools. Congressman Tim Murphy was giving a lecture at West Allegheny High School when a threat came in, although the threats were not connected to his visit.
Former Moon Area School District Superintendent Kurt Baker agrees to resign from his new job at Wilson School District near Reading after being put in a negative light from his previous job. Baker was accused of poor administrative judgment in his former position at Moon Area and was removed from his position in 2015. The Residence Hall Association will begin hosting Siblings Weekend today, and I had the opportunity to interview with the chair of the Siblings Weekend Committee, Vince Passerini, about the events that will take place this weekend.
In just a few short hours, Robert Morris University is about to begin their Siblings Weekend events, a time for family to come and explore the life that RMU students are immersed in on a daily basis. So what is Siblings Weekend?
It's a weekend where RMU students can bring their sibling or cousin, family, friend to campus for 3 days of literally non-stop events happening on campus, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This year's theme is a tropical luau theme. So with everything from 24 live tropical birds that are coming in, Hawaiian-themed paint night, Hawaiian-themed laser tag, a luau with 8 different stations, and then a 3-hour live traditional Polynesian dance performance happening on Saturday. It's literally so much. The idea was kind of based around we wanted to find some way for younger sibs to maintain a stronger connection with their older sib, because when a lot of students go to college and go away, they kind of lose that sense of like being close with their sibling in the same house, eating the same meals and everything, and they go to college, which is this big abyss that's like existing. I don't know what it is, but like it's just college. They're at college. And our idea with this was to like bring them on campus and show them where they sleep and show them where they eat and show them where they go to class, and it grounds them. It's like, I know what their life is. Their sib is like, I can relate to them.
Siblings Weekend will start today, Friday, February 24th at 5 p.m. and continue through Sunday. Be sure to check out the fun activities planned and share your photos throughout the weekend using the hashtag BobbyMohana.
Check-in for Siblings Weekend is tonight from 5 to 10 p.m. at the PNC Colonial Cafe, and the first event, which is laser tag, begins at 7 in the John Jay Gym. Students from Jamila Al-Jaroudi's Engineering Management Cases class have had their class research paper titled The Effects of Strategic Movement accepted for publication in a conference for the IEEE Technology and Engineering Management Society.
Throughout the week, students have been tabling outside the Office of Admissions, allowing students to write a letter to an official of their choice.
So Hear Me Out is a team effort between the Women's Leadership Program and the Panhellenic Council. Basically, any student can write a postcard to their elected official, President Trump, senators, local legislators, anybody they want, talking about their concerns, something they're passionate about, really anything they have to say. So I was talking to Dr. Rauscher, who's the director of the Women's Leadership Program, and we decided to do this event so that people felt like they had a direct way to contact their legislators and who they wanted to talk to. Positive so far. We started at 11, so we've only been doing this for about an hour and a half. A lot of people have stopped. Most people are running to class, but we've had quite a good turnout of people stopping and writing down anything they want to say.
I want to help the immigrants and the refugees that want to come to our country because they're trying to escape poverty, they're trying to escape the chaos that's happening in their countries, and I feel like America should be the solution to help them with those issues.
I think so. I think it's important to be politically active, civically engaged, make sure that people in government are hearing what you have to say, what you're concerned about, what you're passionate about, because it does make a difference. Honestly, your voice is heard no matter how you get it across, whether you're calling your legislators, you're writing postcards, sending emails, it makes a difference. They do have to read all of those, they have to listen to your voicemail, they have to hear what you have to say.
What I did was I sent a letter to our state senator, Pat Toomey. We need to communicate that voice in a positive way, and this is the best way to do it.
The tabling took place all this week from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., and it was a conjoined effort between the Women's Leadership and Mentor Program and the RMU's Panhellenic Council.
A company that is helping Ford develop a self-driving car says that it will locate its headquarters in Pittsburgh. By the end of 2017, the company's headquarters plans to hire more than 200 workers, and Ford announced that it would invest $1 billion in the company in over the next 5 years.
The city of Pittsburgh is seeking an emergency injunction to stop the demolition of the Penn Plaza apartments. According to court documents, demolition is starting before the agreed-upon March 31st start date. Private developer LG Realty gave residents until the end of March to move out, but is already moving on with the project, much to the dislike of residents.
In Washington County, a 72-year-old woman was accused of selling heroin to supplement her Social Security checks. She was caught selling 10 stamp bags of heroin to a confidential informant and remains in the Washington County Jail on a $25,000 bail. The winning Powerball numbers were drawn on Wednesday night for the jackpot that climbed to over $400 million for the first time in nearly 3 months. The jackpot for Saturday's drawing is $40 million, and the odds of winning are 1 in 292.2 million. Be sure to tune in to our other shows, RMU Live on Mondays and Fridays at 1 p.m., Sports Talk in the Berg on Thursdays at 6:30 p.m., and Colonial Sports Center on Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. here on RMU TV.
Coming up on RMU Live, we'll talk about a recent discovery that has shocked NASA.
And information on cyber attacks from Russia. We'll be right back.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
NASA has recently discovered 7 new Earth-sized planets orbiting a nearby star. Scientists believe this discovery is a giant step towards discovering life outside of Earth. In 2018, a satellite is set to be launched to further explore the star system.
New questions have been raised about devices like Siri, Amazon Echo, and Google Home, and how they could be recording our conversations. The device is supposed to become more efficient by recording all interactions the users have with it. This information has scared some people, but you can stop most devices from listening to you by going into its settings or by turning it off or unplugging it from the device.
Sargento Foods Incorporated has terminated its relationship with one of its suppliers because of concerns over potential listeria contamination of its cheeses. The fears were so serious that on February 10th, several of Sargento's products were recalled. Just 1 week later, on February 17th, the recall was expanded. Sargento's sliced Colby, Munester, and Pepperjack have been removed from the shelves. The Russian military has publicly admitted that the scale of their informational war effort has greatly expanded since the Cold War era. The admission comes after several allegations were made against Russia in connection with cyber attacks against Western states. Russian military expert Keir Gills has warned that the country's information warfare covers a wider sphere than current Western focus on cyber warriors and hackers. And for all the news you could possibly need regarding RMU sports and arts and entertainment, be sure to visit rmucentralmedia.com.
Coming up after the break, weather forecaster Eddie Sheehy will be in our weather center with a look at this weekend's forecast.
And our sports anchor Ian Kiss will be talking about the trades that took place yesterday, all when we come back from the break.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another installment of Quick Flicks on RMU TV. Now, if you've read or watched any of my reviews in the past, you probably already know that I'm not exactly the biggest fan of the superhero genre in movies. I've gone into a lot of detail in the past on why I don't really like superhero movies. To put it shortly, I think they're really cliche. So when I heard that they were making a Lego Batman movie, I was a little hesitant. Back in 2015, when the Lego movie came out, Batman was the shining star in that movie. I'll admit that. But I wasn't sure that that character could really hold an entire feature film himself. Now, having seen that movie, of course, I realize that I was wrong on that instinct, because the Lego Batman movie is really enjoyable. Starring Will Arnett as the narcissistic and grumpy billionaire playboy, the Lego movie first and foremost benefits from the uniquely inspired visuals of the first movie. The miniature worlds made entirely from everyone's favorite building toy remains a surprisingly intriguing landscape to set a movie in. The other strength from the original movie that the Lego Batman movie recognized and utilized is the importance of the casted voice actors. Whether it's the return of Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill as Superman and the Green Lantern, or the new additions of Michael Cera and Rosario Dawson as Robin and Batgirl, the voice acting throughout is supreme. In fact, I think half the fun throughout comes from the times you pause and go, "Hey, I know that voice."
Okay. Here we go.
Featuring plenty of references to the Batman character's history, from his on-screen origin in the 60s to last year's disastrous Batman v Superman, the Lego version of the Caped Crusader knows just where he stands, as a parody, and plays that fact up whenever he can. Whether it's at times when he stoically looks into the camera with a deadpan stare and belts out the infamous "I'm Batman" line, or when he's facing off against his greatest foe, the Joker, a character who found perfect casting in the often manic Zach Galifianakis. As you might also know about me, I love a good message in my animated movie, and the Lego Batman movie hits that one squarely on the head. Recently on the big screen, the Dark Knight has been portrayed over and over again as a tortured, lonely, brooding soul, but this ultra-kid-friendly version plays up that loneliness factor and uses it to teach an important lesson about teamwork and friendship. All in all, the Lego Batman movie has so much going for it. The pop culture references, the music sprinkled throughout, the great voice acting, the beautiful visual style. It really all succeeds in my book, but the thing that surprised me and had me going the most was the fact that this movie was able to incorporate non-traditional characters from other universes into this superhero flick. It's really a lot of fun. It's a great surprise. I don't want to ruin any of the details for you. I want you to see it for yourself. But those are the reasons I'm going to give this movie 4 out of 5 stars. Now, that's not quite as good of a rating as I gave the original Lego movie. I gave that one 4.5 out of 5 stars, but still a very good rating. And the Lego Batman movie really does leave me interested and excited to see more spin-offs in this Lego movie universe. Now, unfortunately, that is all the time we have here on this installment of Quick Flicks. I'll see you guys in just a few weeks with another movie review.
I'm now interested to go see that movie, Eddie. The Pittsburgh Penguins took down the Carolina Panthers Tuesday evening as Sidney Crosby scored the winning goal in the second period, and Evgeny Malkin sealed the deal for the Pens with his third period goal. The team will have a different look going into their stadium series against the Flyers at Heinz Field Saturday, as the team acquired Ron Hainsey Thursday in a trade with the Carolina Hurricanes for a 2017 second-round draft pick and minor league forward Danny Cristo, who has NHL playing experience. Now, the weather is in question for Saturday's game. So, Eddie, can you give us a better prediction of the details going into Saturday expected for the fans?
Yeah, absolutely, Ian. Thanks, and I would definitely recommend checking out that Lego movie. As I said, 78 is going to be my high temperature for today, though we are looking at a low of 58, 0% chance of rain, and that 58 degrees is what we're going to see transitioning into tonight. Now, moving over to our look outside, we just took another look outside earlier, but we're going to, see a lot of this really nice weather throughout the day. The map has nothing to show you today. So then, after that, the last thing I want to get to is into the 5-day. We are going to see a little bit of snow later on the weekend. Monday, I'll have more on that on RMU Live. Guys, back to the desk.
That's all we have for RMU Live.
We'll see you next week.